An insider has revealed major Avalanche details, and a huge move is incoming for the regular season for the Colorado Avalanche, as a key top six forward has had tons of rumors circulating around him all throughout the offseason as to whether or not he wants to re-sign and wants to stay in Colorado with the Avalanche long term. But not only does this report from this reliable insider knock those rumors away and solidify a strong chance in seeing this particular power forward sign with the Colorado Avalanche, but him personally speaking out to the local Denver media as well as other sources in the hockey social media world has confirmed and helped boast the fact that we will be seeing this player stick around in Denver, Colorado for the Avs for the long foreseeable future. Welcome into Avs Digest, everybody. My name is Mark Robinson. Happy to be here breaking down Colorado Avalanche hockey news with you on the daily. Very happy to just continue to get the chance to get to talk about the Avs on a daily basis. Very grateful, very lucky, and want to say thank you to you guys for your continuous love and support here on the channel. Do want to remind you to make sure that you're subscribed to Avs Digest here on YouTube, and also if you want to check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, you can do that as well. But 68% of our viewers on a daily basis not subscribed to the channel. We've officially cracked that 1,000 subscriber mark, and we're continuing to keep that ceiling high and continuing to grow and to be the biggest source of Colorado Avalanche news that we possibly can. So help us in doing that by hitting that subscribe button and joining the Avs Digest family. Appreciate every one of you supporting, watching, liking, commenting very much. Without further ado, let's dive in. An NHL report from one of the most well-known and reliable insiders in the business, Pierre LeBrun, reports on Martin Necas that they haven't gotten that far in talks, but not for any negative, concerning reason. I think he just wants to start the year, see how things go. And Pierre LeBrun, who, like I said, very reliable source. Obviously, he can't predict the future, but you can definitely take into account and consider with a grain of salt what a guy like him has to say. He thinks that he's going to sign with the Avalanche, although they have not gotten deep in talks yet. And so Pierre LeBrun reporting on this and sharing it in the hockey media and the hockey world. This is really exciting news, considering the fact that one of the biggest topics and one of the biggest conversation points all offseason has been rumors and reports that Martin Necas is not pleased with the idea of staying in Colorado and that he wants out and wants to be traded or sign elsewhere. And so a report like this, coming from a reliable source in Pierre LeBrun, gives, a positive light on this conversation and helps reform the idea that there is a solid chance that a guy like Martin Necas will be sticking around in Colorado, considering that all of these rumors going on in the offseason have been kind of falsely painting this picture around what's going to be happening with the forward in our top six, who was acquired in the trade from Mikko Rantanen, which makes him a pretty big deal as far as getting him to sign long term. And then, we touched on this a little bit in the channel a few days ago, but on top of that report from Pierre LeBrun, even Martin Necas is shutting down some of these rumors about a potential conversation of him not wanting to be in Colorado. He's shutting them down himself. DNVR Avalanche reported on Martin Necas shutting down rumors that he doesn't like playing in Colorado, that he doesn't want to be with the Avs in Denver. He had to say for himself, I think it's a great place here. It's probably one of the best in the NHL for living and obviously for playing as well. He doesn't know where these rumors are coming from, and it's clearly being debunked by him and his opinion and his agent and stuff like that, that there's no truth around the fact that he doesn't want to be in Colorado. Now, obviously, with that said, him and the Avs front office have to find a deal that the Avs can afford as far as cap space goes, as well as something that satisfies him and his level of play and his level of production. He's a very highly sought after player in the league. He's one of the top forwards, no doubt about it. And so I'm suspecting that he's going to cost a pretty penny if and when he does get signed by the Colorado Avalanche. But I think that does end up being worthwhile later down the road as we look to build long-term depth and continue to build a team around essentially the best defenseman and the best forward in the league in Cale Makar and Nathan MacKinnon. So definitely exciting and worth noting. And just a small little happy story that surrounds this whole entire conversation. Brent Burns and Jack Drury skated together as the first group to start training camp as we get closer to the regular season. And Brent Burns and Martin Necas walked down the tunnel of the ice together, bringing in that veteran defenseman, Brent Burns, from the Carolina Hurricanes. These three guys now have a little bit of a closer team feel within their new team in the Colorado Avalanche. Because you have to remember, too, Drury and Necas still new to this team. They're coming into their first full season with the Colorado Avalanche after this blockbuster trade with the Carolina Hurricanes, sending Mikko Rantanen over there, where he'd eventually end up in Dallas. But this is just a small little high note, little happy note surrounding this whole conversation as well. I didn't include any visuals regarding this other note as well, just because it's not even worth putting a visual. But a very small little other note that probably doesn't matter that much, but I do think it's worth looking into a little bit is Martin Necas has been enjoying his free time with his teammates in Colorado. He was seen at some like social event at Landeskog's house, enjoying the off season, hanging out with his team with this big smile on his face. Yeah, he played golf up in northern Colorado with Mackenzie Blackwood. So he's in Colorado, enjoying time with his teammates, enjoying time in the state and in the area itself. And I think that in itself shows that he is interested and open to the idea of being in the state of Colorado longer term. So all these reports, all of, the fact that he's speaking on all of this conversation, very, very exciting. But then obviously you think about if talks are slow and if they're starting to ramp up, what's the price going to be roughly? Where do we think we're going to be signing him? And it's also notable to look back at obviously what we're going to be getting for him. I mean, this last year split between the Hurricanes and the Avs, he played 49 games with the Hurricanes, 30 with the Avalanche. With the Canes, he had 16 and 39 for goals and assists for 55 points. And then with the Avs in the latter half of the season, 11 goals, 17 assists for 28 points. So a very strong year for Martin Necas. And although the playoff production was lacking a little bit, that's where we want to see things pick up. Really strong showing and a really strong season. And I remember so much conversation surrounding the fact that he fit in so well with the Avs right out the gate. He was playing really strong, swift hockey on that top line with Nathan MacKinnon, and thinking about having that long-term, referencing the potential price that would maybe get Martin Necas for, that's worth it in my opinion. If we're paying, in the 9, 10, 11 million range, I think that is very electric stuff to be thinking about as far as the Colorado Avalanche and long-term depth. But speaking of depth, thinking a little bit more about the short term, let's talk about some other storylines in this team that are very exciting. And the first one is the captain, Gabe Landeskog. He is healthy, happy, and buzzing for the Colorado Avalanche right now. The hope is that he is going to be a really big force to be reckoned with on this Avs line and this Avs roster, because the story around him is the story around him is the excitement of just having your captain back. But I think one little aspect of it that doesn't get as much attention is how good of a hockey player he is. Not only is he the captain and he brings the vibes and he brings the good leadership into the locker room, he brings a skill level that a lot of teams lack. And that is very exciting for the team. He was out for 3 years because of that knee injury, of course, that we know of. He had 4 points in 5 playoff games, provided an immense emotional lift. But the question is, can he hold up for an 82-game season? I think that he is going to be a top power forward, and I think that his health is going to be greatly underestimated in this season. I'm really excited to see that. And then we talked a little bit about him earlier, but Brent Burns, another really intriguing addition. He signed the 1-year contract on July 2nd at 40 years old. He'll play in his 22nd NHL season. A very significant contributor on the Canes last year, 29 points with 6 goals and 23 assists, averaged almost 21 minutes of ice time in 82 games. So it's obviously we have a deep defensive roster, but I'm sure there's still going to be a lot of space for him to be a very effective player on the defensive side of things for the Colorado Avalanche. And then the last thing, can the Colorado goalie tandem, which is brand new this season, Mackenzie Blackwood and Scott Wedgwood, can a full 82-game slate for these two goaltenders be effective in the win column for Colorado in the Central Division? And can it lead them to a deeper run in the Stanley Cup playoffs? Last year, starting off with Alexander Georgiev, who's extremely inconsistent, and now signing with the Buffalo Sabres at a league minimum less than $1 million deal. Now that the Avs come into the season with confidence in their goaltending, can that help them maybe bump up a place or two in the regular season Central Division rankings, and then even get a potentially better playoff seeding spot to make a deeper run and try to get themselves back in a Stanley Cup championship position? So another exciting thing to think about is what Mac Blackwood and Scott Wedgwood will be able to offer goaltending-wise with a full season ahead of them. Hockey's right around the corner, folks. So excited. I am buzzing thinking about having the Avs back, and I can't wait for that opening night on October 8th against the Los Angeles Kings. Thanks for tuning into Avs Digest. We appreciate your support as usual, and we will talk to you soon. Cheers, everybody.